While the situation in Gaza is very tragic, the blood is spilling every day, the situation in the West Bank is not less serious. People here feel like they're helpless. When you talk to these families, they tell you it's not new. Israel has always been violent against us. Now, the timing of it is making violence increase, and there's less attention here in the occupied West Bank. I'm Nida Ibrahim, Al Jazeera's correspondent in the occupied West Bank. And between us, it's been one heartbreaking story after another. We've been seeing, before October 7th, Israeli settlers burning Palestinian towns. And all of that was encouraged by the sense of impunity those settlers had. And you would see Israeli settlers getting a maximum of a house arrest. And then on the other side, you'd see Palestinian children as young as 14 or less being imprisoned for months for throwing a rock. So people felt like they were scared. They were seeing images of the Israeli violations in Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, seeing women being beaten up, the strip searching that happened in Hebron of women. All of these things were kind of a warning that there would be an outburst. The occupied West Bank has become dissected into more than 200 pieces. People are feeling that Israel is using this time where all eyes are on Gaza to complete the project in the occupied West Bank, which is expelling more and more Palestinians from their lands. What used to be a silent transfer is not so silent anymore. You've seen settlers going into Palestinian lands, kicking Palestinians out, kicking families out of their lands, children, women, and men. And we're talking about violence of settlers that has already been high. But now, after October 7th, that violence has reached drastic levels. One of the people who have been killed was someone I knew since 2011. His name is Ibrahim Wadi. He was participating in a funeral. He was bringing the bodies of 4 Palestinians who have been killed by settlers, when a convoy of settlers stopped them in the street, shot them, killed Ibrahim and his son. And this is someone who's been talking about settler violence for years and years, and he himself was killed by a settler. Sometimes when we're covering, it's hard to count how many raids are taking place in the occupied West Bank. You see them in the north and in the south and in refugee camps and in Jenin. And you have Palestinians who are just going about their daily lives, who are getting killed. You have children who are killed. People here in the occupied West Bank, they always looked at Gaza as a symbol of resistance. Resistance is very difficult to come from the West Bank. And the Palestinian Authority, given its signed agreements with Israel, people here have families in the besieged Gaza Strip, but they cannot visit them because they need Israeli military permits that are almost impossible to get. So you have families who have been separated, and yet they're following the news of them being killed. One thing I've been noticing more and more over the past years, but more so now in this war, that people feel that they're totally alone, that they've been left by the world battling one of the strongest armies. I think there's a lot that is not being talked about enough about Palestinians and their struggles, about expecting the victim to be a perfect one, about expecting Palestinians to abide by all the morals and the laws when they feel that they're being cracked down upon every day, that they feel that their whole existence is in question. The war now is on the very existence of Palestinians, not just as individuals, but as a nation.